So, The Walking Dead Clementine book came out, and it is very confusing to me. And maybe that's because I went in completely blind with zero knowledge except from the games. Why did Clementine leave everyone and everything behind? Why does she decide to stick with people after obviously being annoyed by them? It also makes her seem like a massive hypocrite, leaving AJ and everyone from the school just to join a different, smaller group. So I just read the Clementine Lives comic book while writing the script, and it really doesn't explain why Clementine is leaving Erickson's boarding school, and all it does is bring up the Coalition, which doesn't matter at all because you don't hear or see much of them, so I just wasted my time. The pacing is also pretty weird, and maybe that's because I'm a faster reader, or maybe it's a mix of writing and the comic art that I'm not a fan of. I'm not joking, I literally can't tell what's going on 25% of the time, but I did like the story the more it went on. Now's the time where I get into spoilers because I actually can't move forward without going into them. That's your one and only warning. This story follows Clementine, who is 17, ditching everything to head north. Where exactly? Well, I don't know, because it doesn't tell you right off the bat. I feel like that's a pretty big thing to leave out until the final chapter. Along the way, she meets Amos, who I would choose to kill if it was a video game. I'm not joking. He's the NPC that you kill and fail the task they're doing because of how annoying he is. A lot of the characters don't matter, but Rika and Tim are pretty good. I really like them. Now, I will admit that I do like the flashbacks because it shows that Clem isn't completely a different person, even though it feels like it. Dom the Bomb called Clementine Tangerine, and I feel the same way. I can't imagine Melissa Hutchinson in this version of Clementine. But I will accept it and just pretend this is a completely different timeline from the video games. And we'll just say that Clementine's official story ended right when Season 4 ended, and that she didn't have to go through this whole comic book thing. The story primarily takes place on top of a mountain somewhere near Vermont. There, Clem meets Rika, left and right, who are twins, and Tim, who dies 3 pages after you meet him. After Clementine meets him. Anyways, stuff happens and Wright kills Amos, which makes me so happy. She then tries to kill Clem and Rika, but they escape and have a nice heart-to-heart, which I actually love. The characters here feel real, but I still ask myself, why didn't Skybound make a game on this concept? It would have been a good enough story, and hell, I would have played it. Just make the title the same thing. The Walking Dead Clementine. Anyways, Clem kills Wright, or Georgie, I think. Whichever you want to call her. And then Clem, Rika, and Olivia, or Left, again, whatever you want to call her, head to a place to get a plane from Olivia and Georgia's mother. They get in the sky on a plane, and the book ends so that we have to wait for the next one to come. Is the Clementine book worth $13? Yeah, it's a fine comic, but the pacing brings it down. It's like the one kid in school that can't sit still. But I still ended the book with liking it a fair amount. If you choose to see this as a different timeline from the games, it helps the enjoyment a lot. Problems stem from the idea that Clementine leaves for no good reason other than, I came north because I got tired of watching people die, and that she can tell the kids saw her as a liability. They could have written a book with a different concept, or just not make a book and do a game instead. There are so many things you can do with a different game. Catch up with Javier, have a prequel game to Season 4 showing what happened with Clem and AJ before the events of Season 4, or just make a sequel with Clementine and the kids struggling in the winter together and show what the Coalition is. I'm not claiming to be better than anyone at Skybound, but those are ideas that pop up coming from a lifelong fan. The art is clunky and confusing, and I feel like if everything had more time in the oven, it would make the book better. The romance between Clem and Rika is nice because they don't downright shove it down your throat. The characters are alright, some of them shine more than the others though. I like the small flashbacks, the heart-to-heart with Rika is fantastic. I like how Clem names her prosthetic leg Kenny. Overall, the book is a decent read, and you people are way too mean. So, for now, Clementine Book 1 is getting a 6 out of 10, a fine read, I guess. Also, apparently Book 2 will have the characters visiting an island with Clementine failing to repair her scars, and I won't lie, I'm terrified if this is true. It's also October 2023, so I guess I'll have to find content until then. Also, I forgot to mention, but if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, or subscribe. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I made this review fairly quickly. Also, if people want, I will do a full in-depth review on this book, because I kind of just put this out to get my thoughts out really quickly. I will see you in the next video where my brother plays The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 2, following where my mom